Welcome, curious minds. This is me, Emily, from the Raceland Branch Library, welcoming you to our STEAM today. We're going to be making rock slime and talking about the science of slime. How do a few simple ingredients come to make slime? Let's get started. We start with our glue, pour it into the bowl, and let's talk about what makes the glue such a special part of slime. Glue is a polymer. Polymers are clusters of the same type of molecule, and glue contains a molecule called polyvinyl acetate. When those molecules slide past each other, as polyvinyl acetate molecules do, you get a liquidy substance, which is glue. But when you add any kind of acid to those molecules, to those polymers, you change the way that polymers react to each other. So when you add contact solution, which contains boric acid, you're going to get a reaction that changes the consistency of your glue. So let's add our tablespoon of contact solution and see what kind of reaction we should get from it. As you start to mix the liquid together, it won't look a whole lot like slime, but you need to make sure that they're all combined. And you'll get something that looks the opposite of slime, pretty much. It's not going to look like slime when you combine everything together. It looks more liquidy almost. But this is where our sodium comes in. When you use baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate, the sodium helps the molecules in the polymer and in the boric acid from the contact solution, helps those molecules bind together and creates a stronger bond between them than they had initially. So we'll start adding a little bit of baking soda. Let's do just a half a tablespoon to start with, and start to incorporate all of that in. You should be able to see that it is forming a ball now around that baking soda. All of those polymer molecules are binding together, binding a lot more strongly than they were before. It's turning into a solid rather than the liquid state it was. You'll see that it's making a ball right here, and all of that leftover glue and contact solution on the side of the bowl, that's all sticking together. I don't even think we'll need as much baking soda as we thought we would need at first. I will add just a little bit more though, because it still looks a little shiny, a little bit liquidy and wet, and stirring this all together has created a ball of glue. This is our slime. At this point, you can take it out of the bowl. You notice nothing sticks onto your hands when you touch it. It might feel a little wet, but you can always add baking soda to it as you need. Now let's add our rocks. Weave them into our slime. And then squish it together. I don't know if putting rocks in it this big was a good idea, but it was certainly a very colorful one. Let's add some regular, non-colorful rocks, different pebbles and things like that, into our slime and see how it works. I don't think it wants to hold the rocks very well. It will stick to them, but ultimately, it doesn't seem like the rocks want to stay in the slime either. It's still very fun to handle, very fun to squish around when there aren't rocks falling out at you and flying everywhere. Well, our rock slime didn't work out as well as we thought it might. The rocks and pebbles just kind of slide out of the slime the more that you handle it and play with it. But I think that's good. This way we learn what works and what doesn't, and that's good experimentation. Thank you for joining me for slime today for our STEAM. I'm going to have several books that you need to check out if you are slime obsessed like I am. Thanks again for joining me. Stay curious and stay slimy.